Anyone not on the plane?
Oldie at this stage. Finn's not travelling, obviously he's an extra player for us, but other than that I'm just thinking we don't have anybody else out.
No injury concerns anyway?
No, not at the moment, no.
Okay, so it is a game you can't afford to lose and or draw, but are you going there to try win the game? What's the sort of game plan?
No, I think the players comprehend what needs to be done. The mindset will be positive. We're not going there to play for a draw. We'll play our normal game in the sense to try to win the game against the opponent. I know that they will not be happy where they're sitting at the moment as well, Macarthur. I'm sure that they don't want to finish bottom of the table, end the season in that way. So I'm expecting them to come out and try to play and try to win the game as well. So it's very important that we go with the mindset of trying to win the game, and then as the game goes, we'll need to manage it and what we need to do from the sideline as well.
Yeah, I'm sure you'd rather be remembered as a coach that took the team to another playoff than missed out in this sort of fashion. Do you worry about your own legacy when you're leaving a club? How it's going to.
Look, I always want to finish on a high. Wherever you end up at the end of the season, for us, the great thing is that it's still in our own hands to achieve and make the top 6. So the reality is, like I said, we'll go with a positive mindset. We'll go to try to win the game, and we'll adjust accordingly as the game goes. And definitely always want to finish on a high.
In terms of trying to get a job overseas as well, do you need a strong finish?
Yeah, look, obviously, people want to employ coaches that are doing well. I think in my tenure here, we've been pretty consistent. We had tough 2 seasons, obviously based away from home. Obviously we missed out on the top 6 one season by a point, which was disappointing. Last year we made the top 6 in tough circumstances again. One thing I've never done is made up excuses. I think going into this game, it's very important that we understand that I think the core group of these players have been through this situation previously, so it's nothing new to them, which is fantastic for us, and we rely on our principles and our game structure to get us through games, and that's something that we needed to improve on the last few weeks, and something that we worked on during the week. So hopefully we can carry that into the game and get the outcome that we want.
What have you been working on this week to try get the mojo back in this team?
Yeah, we had a nice meeting at the start of the week with the players. It was actually good, where we got them to confront each other and tell them about their strengths and then what they can improve on. I think it's nice sometimes coming from their teammate rather than the coach at times, which was a little bit eye-opening for some players, because sometimes self-awareness disappears and you don't know, you don't see it because it's your behaviour, your actions. And it was nice probably to be told from their teammates, or that this is what they can do and this is what they can bring to the team.
So what's the thing? Yeah, during that meeting, did they talk about what needs to improve, and what was the main? I
think the group are pretty smart enough to comprehend what we need to improve on. One thing is obviously being clinical in front of goals, the opportunities that we create, because I think I think Wanderers was the only game that we didn't score in. We do score goals, we do create opportunities, but at the moment, what we heavily rely on, I heavily rely on, is our structure defensively, and I think that's been poor, and that's something that we definitely need to improve on.
Are you still confident that the team's buying into your sort of messages?
Yeah, definitely. They go out there. Look, no player goes out there to lose. Every player goes out with a mindset to try to win the game. Sometimes do they execute it right? Yeah, sometimes, but do we need to do it more often? Definitely.
Because what exactly about the game plan or defensively haven't the team been listening to?
Well, one thing we haven't done, I don't think it's the structure. I think at times we've let ourselves down in 1v1 moments. Sometimes the opponent has got the better of us. And sometimes it's not even about being technically gifted, it's just the desire and the passion to get you through games.
Do you believe you're a top 6 team?
Definitely. I think we've showed that during the season. We've got the points on the table, and it's in our hands to get that spot.
After last week, Ufuk, you said it was men v boys. Ollie said afterwards that it was one of the worst performances he's been involved in a Phoenix shirt. Did you demand a response this week in any way?
Yeah, look, I am demanding, but I didn't demand a response in the sense. I think the players, like I said, comprehend where we're at and what we need to do to make the top 6. The great thing is, for me, this is a nice rehearsal leading into finals football. It's an important game that we need to get a result from, and finals football is the same once we get to that. So it's very important we're smart in the way that we handle ourselves during the game, with and without the ball, and how we manage the game.
I guess also one possible outcome, which we don't want to talk about, is that this will be your last week in charge. Has the week been any different? Has that sat on your mind at all, that this might be the last time you build towards a game as Phoenix coach?
No, I haven't looked at it as our last week. I know that the group is good enough to get themselves in the top 6, and then we'll have a game after that, and then hopefully a home game and an away game in final series. So I've looked beyond that. For me, I don't look at it as this is my last game. I know the group is good enough to get us where we need to get to.
And obviously there are players who are leaving as well. Have you noticed any change or any difference in behaviour of the players who are staying compared to those who are leaving?
No, I don't think so. There's still players that are currently with the squad that are off contract as well. So, you know, the season hasn't ended. There's players that are still vying for a contract, whether it's at Wellington, Phoenix or somewhere else. So, similar to the Macarthur players at the moment, there'll be players coming off contract that are, you know, want to use this opportunity to showcase what they can do, and whether they stay at Macarthur or move on somewhere else as well. So they're all professionals. They're currently still getting paid by Wellington Phoenix, and they know the task at hand, and it's very important that they go out there with that mindset.
And there is some conjecture about whether momentum is actually a thing in professional sport or any sport or not, but if it is a thing, how important is it that you get a win going into the playoffs?
Yeah, definitely be nice to get a win leading into playoffs. But the reality is, I think the year that we didn't make the top 6, I think we beat Macarthur 3-0, and they ended up getting through to the semis. So finals football is different. It's a totally different mindset, the way that you set up, the way that you plan. So, like, it'd be great to win the game and go into the final series with a win under your belt.
Is there any preference as to who you might face next week?
Not really. The main thing is we get there, and then whoever we come across, and we deal with that once we get there.
One player who started the season really strongly but has had a dip in form is Cryer. How do you sort of get him back to where he was?
Yeah, we've had conversations with him. Chiefy's had conversation with him as well, and we just. The thing is, he's a visa player. We obviously have a higher expectation of our visa players at the same time. So for us, it's just a focus thing and just getting back to rhythm for him. And we know the quality that he can bring to the team when he's on his game. So it's one of those things. It's just one of those focus things, and just build that momentum again and do the basics right and build into the game.
And it's been a long time since went 5 games without a defeat. It was the very start of your tenure. Is there anything that you learned from that period that you've been able to apply now?
Well, one thing is that we strongly believe in our processes, and that's what got us through that first year when we lost those games, is sticking to the processes and what we believe in and how we should play the game. If we start to be afraid that we've lost a few games in a row, that we move away from our beliefs, then I think it really makes life a lot more difficult. So, you know, that's a conversation that we had as well this week, that we stick to our processes and our principles and our beliefs and what we need to do, and we just need to execute a lot better.
And can we expect any personnel changes in the wake of last week's game?
Well, we'll find out tomorrow.